Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to do the comparison of two mid-range phones, the Moto G4 Plus versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. So there are lots of things common in these two devices. They're priced almost in the below 15k price point. So before we go into the detailed comparison, let's first have a quick look at the specifications of these two phones. So first up we have the Moto G4 Plus. So this comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD display. It's powered by the Snapdragon 617 octa-core chipset, and this has 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage, and this also comes with Android 6.0 Marshmallow, and there is a 16 megapixel rear camera, a front facing 5 megapixel camera, and a 3000 mAh battery with turbo charging. Now talking about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, so this is one of the hugely popular device in India, and it sold almost 6 lakh unit in past 2 months time, and this comes with again a 5.5-inch Full HD display. It's powered by the Snapdragon 650 hexa-core chipset that's more powerful than the Snapdragon 617, and this is also coming with a 3GB RAM and 32GB internal storage, and the battery capacity is at 4100 mAh, and this runs Android 5.1.1 Lollipop along with a custom MIUI 7, and the phone also comes with a 16 megapixel shooter and a 5 megapixel front facing camera. So that is the spec aspect of these two phones. Now let's go into the detailed aspect about the comparison. So first up, let's see the design and build quality. So in the design aspect, we can see that while Motorola Moto G4 has a completely plastic body, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 comes with a metallic finish. So there is a big difference in the material and finishing. So you can see here the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 looks much more premium with the metallic finishing, but the Moto G4 Plus is also quite a well built phone. The plastic quality looks good, but the design language isn't really impressive. You can see the fingerprint scanner on the front, and this is not integrated to the home button because there is a on-screen button on the Moto G4 Plus. So the design isn't really a strong point of the Moto G4 Plus. But the overall build quality looks quite good. I can see there is a chrome accent around the device. There is also a chrome accent on the camera unit. So design looks quite decent, but not really the best. Now if you look at Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, it's pretty good finishing all around. We have this metallic finishing all around. Now it has a non-removable back panel, while the Moto G4 Plus you can remove the back panel, but the battery is not removable on the Moto G4 Plus. Now talking about the usability aspect, the Moto G4 Plus is quite lightweight when compared to the Redmi Note 3. So if that is your primary concern, the phone should not be too heavy, then the Moto G4 Plus should be your choice because it's a lot lighter than the Redmi Note 3, which comes with a metallic finishing. So in the design and build quality, we would say the Redmi Note 3 is better, but again it's a personal choice. If you're okay with plastic, and the build quality on the Moto G4 Plus is also quite decent. Now let's move on to the display. So both these phones comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD panel, that's a 1080p panel, and the display quality looks quite good on both these devices. The touch response is quite smooth on both these devices. The viewing angles are also really good. You can see that the Redmi Note 3 has slightly better viewing angles here than the Moto G4 Plus, but it's quite good on both these devices as well. Now the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 also has this sunlight display as quality, so that makes it slightly better in outdoor conditions. So that's again debatable. But then overall display quality looks slightly better on the Redmi Note 3, but Moto G4 Plus is not far behind. So that was the display aspect. Now let's move on to the software and performance. So software, there's a huge difference. The Moto G4 Plus runs on stock Android, that's Android 6.0 Marshmallow, along with a very minimal set of apps from Motorola. There aren't any third-party apps included. So it has a stock UI. So if you're looking for something which has minimalistic UI, then the Moto G4 Plus is quite a good buy, and this does not have any bloatware included, nor any customization option. The basic set of options only included, and this is powered by the Snapdragon 617 octa-core chipset coupled with 3 gigs of RAM. So that's a pretty good upgrade over the Snapdragon 410 on the Moto G3. So software is really good, and you can see the notification center is also the same as that of you find on the stock experience, and this phone will also get upgrade to the Android N whenever it's released. So that those are the strong points of the Motorola G4 Plus. Now talking about the gaming experience, this gaming experience on this device was quite good, and not much of lag or issues, but there was a slight heating on this device. The temperature rose up to 44 degrees in our gaming test. You can also have a look at the gaming test we did, and have a look at how the performance was. So heating is there, slight heating is definitely there, but overall the experience was quite good. The multitasking is also pretty good implementation, and switching between apps is pretty fast as well. And this phone comes with 32 gigs of internal storage and 3 GB RAM, and the overall performance look quite good. Now there is also 4G LTE capabilities on this device, with along with micro SD card support and dual SIM card. This is not a hybrid SIM card, so you can use dual SIM cards as well as a micro SD card as well. Now talking about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. So this runs on MIUI 7 with Android 5.1.1 Lollipop. So if you have been using MIUI or the Xiaomi device, you might be already knowing that Xiaomi gives more importance to the MIUI version rather than the Android version. So chances of this getting Android 6.0 Marshmallow is not really confirmed as of now, but this phone would be getting the MIUI 8 whenever it's released. So now MIUI 7 is a customized UI. You have lots of options. So if you love customization, and if you want to try out a lot of icons, theme packs, and stuffs like that, then probably the MIUI 7 is pretty good in that aspect, and you get a lot of options to theme your device, custom icons, wallpapers, themes, boot animations. All those things are possible with MIUI, and does offer additional options when compared to the stock experience on the Moto G4 Plus. But having said that, this UI is a bit heavier than the stock experience, obviously because of the added features and options available, but it's pretty much optimized UI. But few things missing on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 is the MIUI 7 does not have a expandable notification panel, so you cannot expand the notifications. You have to open it to see the complete notifications. So some minor issues with MIUI 7, but we are expecting those to be fixed with MIUI 8. Now talking about the performance, so this is one really good performing chipset, the Snapdragon 650 hexa-core chipset coupled with 3 gigs of RAM, and the performance is really good on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. You also have 32 gigs of internal storage. There is micro SD card expansion slot, and the gaming experience was also really good on this device. No lags or issues, and the 650 hexa-core chipset performed really well. Now talking about the heating, when we played the heavy graphic rich games, the heating was not really very high. It was just around the 40 degrees mark, so not major issues. And this phone also comes with 4G LTE capabilities. This has a hybrid SIM card, so you can use only one SIM card and a micro SD card, or use the dual SIM cards. Now if you're looking at the benchmark scores alone for the performance aspect, you can see there's a huge difference between the benchmark scores of the Moto G4 Plus with the Snapdragon 617 and the 650 on the Redmi Note 3. And when we did the speed test on both these devices, we haven't included in this video, but we have done the speed test, and we found that the Redmi Note 3 has an edge in terms of the overall speed of opening apps, but Moto G4 Plus is not far behind, because it's not because of the 617, because of the optimized UI. It's not a heavy UI, while the MIUI is pretty much heavier in terms of the memory usage when compared to the stock. So definitely here the winner in terms of the performance is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. So that was the software and performance. Now let's move on to the camera. Now one of the improvements in the Moto G4 Plus is the camera. Now it has a 16 megapixel sensor with laser autofocus, face detection autofocus, dual LED flash, and also 5 megapixel front facing camera. You can see the camera interface has also been changed, quite a lot of changes to this UI. Now while the Moto G3 had a minimal UI which was almost similar to the Google camera app, now this has been improved, and you get some basic options like panoramas, professional mode, slow motion, then video recording is at full HD 1080p. Now talking about the UI on and the camera on the Redmi Note 3, this again has a 16 megapixel camera. You have a dual tone LED flash, and there is also front facing 5 megapixel camera. Now the camera interface is definitely more offering more features on the Redmi Note 3. We have different modes to choose and a lot of additional options. That's one of the good aspects about the MIUI 7 camera. So in the interface wise, definitely the MIUI camera is much better, but if you're looking for simple approach to the camera, then Moto G4 Plus is not far behind. So that was the camera aspect, the interface aspect. Now let's move on to the camera samples. So here are some of the samples which we have taken between these two devices. We already uploaded a detailed camera comparison, and here are the samples which we took in that comparison. And we can't really choose a winner in terms of the overall performance in camera. Both these devices are really good camera unit. While the Redmi Note 3 has improved in the camera aspect with the latest upgrade, the Moto G4 camera also excels in this department. And we would say that in terms of the low light experience, the Moto G4 Plus has slight edge over the Redmi Note 3. So taking in that aspect into consideration, in the overall camera quality, we would say the G4 Plus has a slight edge over the Redmi Note 3. But having said that, in the video we would say the Redmi Note 3 has an edge here because it can also record a 4K videos if you are using a different camera app. The default camera app does not support 4K videos, but then you can install third-party apps like the Google Camera and record videos in 4K. So that's the advantage for Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. So that was the detailed camera comparison. And also talking about the front-facing camera, this is where the Moto G4 Plus wins. The G4 Plus has a pretty good front-facing camera, and the selfie experience was much better. So that was the camera comparison. Now finally moving on to the battery life. So here we already know the clear winner is the Redmi Note 3 with a massive 4100 mAh battery when compared to the 3000 mAh battery on the Moto G4 Plus. So overall the battery performance is definitely much better on the Redmi Note 3, but G4 Plus also provides great battery life with Android Marshmallow. Now it can get you at least 1 day of usage easily with a 3000 mAh battery, while on the Redmi Note 3 you can get at least 1.5 to 2 days with a 4100 mAh battery. So we have talked about a lot of aspects. Now one of the things which we would again talk about is the fingerprint scanner. Now the Moto G4 Plus has a fingerprint scanner on the front panel, while the Redmi Note 3 has it on the back panel. So it depends upon which area you would like to have the fingerprint scanner. Our personal choice would be having it on the rear panel, because you can always take the device and unlock it while you start using it. But for the Moto G4 Plus, if you're taking out of the pocket, you need to first unlock this and then start using it. That again depends upon how you use the device, so it's again debatable. So our personal choice would be on the rear panel. But now talking about the fingerprint scanner performance, both are equally good. It can unlock the device in a quick time and no major issues with either of the fingerprint scanners. So we have done a detailed comparison of these two phones. So now which all areas the devices have advantage. Now Moto G4 Plus has an advantage in camera. The low light performance was quite good. It has the latest software, and it also has a promised upgrade to the Android N whenever it is released. Now another aspect about the Moto G4 Plus is the performance. It does have a stock UI, so the amount of free RAM is slightly more available than the Redmi Note 3, because it has the stock experience, and overall it is a good decent performing device. Now the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 has a lot of things going its way. The pricing is cheaper, so there's almost 3k price difference between these two devices. It has better display, better build quality. It has a metallic construction. The camera is pretty decent. The performance is also quite good. The Snapdragon 650 is a powerful chipset, and the battery life is really superior. So you have to set your priorities, which is your priority. If it is your battery, then obviously the Redmi Note 3. If the latest software, then it's a Moto G4 Plus. Camera, both are really good, but Moto G4 Plus has an edge. So you need to set your priorities on which area you want your device to shine, and based on that you should be selecting one of them. So value for money device obviously is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3, because it is priced cheaper and offers slightly more features when compared to the Moto G4 Plus. Now another important aspect to consider is the availability. The Moto G4 Plus is readily available, but then the Redmi Note 3 is very difficult to get with the flash sales. So that was a detailed comparison of these two phones. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to your YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.